So guys, I'm actually starting this YouTube channel. Gonna start showing people the basics of installing auto glass. Trying to keep this one short and sweet. Just kind of get some of the basics out. It's a lot of information, so just go review the video and just take your time. For starters, the first thing you want to do is I already took the stickers and everything off the glass, but you want to go ahead and run the VIN of the vehicle so that you make sure that you're getting the specific one. I used to guess it, like just getting the year, make, and model of the vehicle, and that gave me a lot of pushback because even if it's the same year, make, and model, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has the same features in the glass, like heads-up display, lane departure, etc. So if you look right here, this is I'm pretty sure this is either lane departure or forward collision sensor, and this is 9 times out of 10 the rain sensor. So I just kind of look for those similar patterns on there. But more importantly, I can't stress it enough. Go ahead and find you some type of software, and I can include software and program as to which ones you can use to run that VIN to make sure that you're getting that exact glass. Because the last thing you want to do is show up to the job with the wrong glass. All right, guys. One of the things you want to do, and you don't necessarily have to do it first, just get into a system to where, especially when you're starting, that you have a 1 2 3 and a system in which you go through doing this, because if you do miss one step, you can run into a lot of problems, and I mean a whole lot of problems. But first thing you want to do is go ahead and clean the glass down real good. You want to clean it at the vendor when you're inspecting the glass. You want to go ahead and clean it before you put it on the car. And then once it's installed onto the car, you want to clean it again. It's glass, so somebody's paying for a new glass. They want to be able to at least look through it and see that it looks nice and clear and new. All right, guys. So one of the second things you want to do, or first things, like I said, have your own system. You want to go ahead and pop this hood. What we're doing is we're removing the wipers out of the car. Also, if you come over here, we're gonna go ahead and remove these tabs, take these wipers off so that we can access the bottom of the glass. That way when we go to install the glass, we don't have anything trying to angle or work our way around. There are some glass takes that like finesse it somehow, and they won't take this all the way off. They might not take the wipers off, and they'll like finesse the glass in there. I don't like to do that. I like to have full free confidence around the glass area, especially with the car like this, it being a Chrysler van. It's a larger glass, so you want to just make sure that you got all the space that you need. All right, this is another little item that I use. I don't always use it, but I do use it from time to time. Uh, it essentially helps you set the glass in. Um, what I'll typically try and do is if you kind of come over here where you can see it, typically try and do is try and line this up so that it's at least kind of level. I would prefer to have it kind of underneath here, but it's not a bad spot. So that way, the glass, it'll sit in the general right area when I go ahead and set it in, and then this will sit at the top of the glass, and it'll pretty much hold it off the glass until I got an opportunity to line it up the way I want. But you guys will see that a little bit later. I was just showing you the setup. All right, guys, we're inside of the car. When it comes to these, you want to keep in mind that these are all plastic components. So you don't want to be too rough with it when you're taking it down. It typically clips out. It's either going to clip up and out like that or kind of loosen off. But you don't ever want to muscle it. You don't really want to give it much more than a couple, like just a light little finger strength on there when removing it. With this particular one, I actually brought this tool because I thought that this is what we usually use to take down the windows, the rear view mirrors. But with this one, you actually just twist it, and it comes right off. With this particular install, we're doing what's called a bypass. Like I said, it's gonna be a lot of information in, and you're gonna want to continue to watch different videos and everything if you want to learn this. Like doing this auto glass stuff is it's a learning process. And the learning process, ooh, it really never stops. Excuse me. But with all of that being said, What we do here for this particular car is a bypass. A bypass means that we're not disconnecting this lane departure or forward collision sensor to force it to have to go into a recalibration. A bypass is about 98% successful. I haven't had any issues with it yet, but like I said, a bypass is essentially not disconnecting these, because if you disconnect this is just a rain sensor. You disconnect this, it's no issue. But if you disconnect this, you have to recalibrate this with the computer. So be careful what you're disconnecting, and don't disconnect anything if you don't have to. All right, so what I'm doing right here, it just makes it a little bit easier. I'm just spraying just a glass cleaner, or you could just use water. But what I'm doing is kind of lubricating the surface area so that my blade runs more easily. This is called a cold knife method. You also have what's called a wire method. I like the wire method. It's just the cold knife method. I feel like it's just straight to the point. You know what I mean? Especially if the car doesn't necessarily call for a wire method. Like, look, already out this whole upper half. So what we're doing with this this tool right here is we're running it under the surface of the glass, and it's clearing out the urethane underneath there that's holding the glass in, because your glass is really only held for glue around the border of the glass. So we're just clearing out or cutting through that glue, aka urethane as they call it. All right, so right now what I'm doing is the same thing I was doing on the outside, which is lubricating it a little bit. Like I said, you don't have to do that, but it just makes things a little bit easier, and easier is better for me. So then we have this here, the extractor. So you said it says this side towards the glass. That's the side that you want to keep towards the glass. And then what we're doing is just cutting out the bottom glue. You don't want to go too far, and you don't want to go too shallow. You'll get a feel as to like how far you're supposed to go. But more importantly, this is by all means a power tool. So you have that power tool bouncing up against this dash right here. You don't want it to damage your dash. So the entire time I do it, in particular me, I kind of keep my hand right here underneath it. Just to protect it. So keep that in mind, because you don't want to find yourself having to replace anybody's dash. All right, guys. So what I'm doing right now is I'm leveling out this old urethane. Urethane, like I said before, is the glue that holds the windshield in. And what we're doing is we're taking off the old urethane now that we've disconnected the glass from there. There's a couple different methods to do it. This is one of them. So if you see, this is urethane. This is what holds the windshield in. But when we apply it, you'll see later on it's actually like glue. But right now it's not, because it's all dried up and sealed. Yeah, that's what we're about to do. Go ahead and knock down this urethane, clean it off, and then we're gonna come back with the primer / activator. So I'll show you guys how to do that too. So what I'm doing right now is attempting to lay down this glue, aka urethane. When you're applying this, you want to keep a steady straight line, and you don't want to have any breaks in that line. Think of it like as a water line. So the water, when it rains or whatnot, is gonna come right up to this line, and it's gonna try and find any type of weak point it can. And if it does find a weak point, then it's going to start draining down into the cabin of the vehicle. Something that you don't want. So this is a very important part as well. But all of the steps come together as far as their importance. And you could do everything right, but do one thing wrong, and you'll have an issue. So don't miss any steps. Laying down the urethane now. Then we're gonna go ahead and apply the glass. So we're setting it down right onto that assist, kind of getting her where we want her. Notice that boy came down a little offset. Luckily, kind of maneuver it to get it right where we want it. Flush across that top and watch the sides and corners. I have had a lot of experiences in the past where if you're not paying attention to little tabs and things, you can very easily crack your glass right at this point, which really sucks. So be very careful when you're laying it in. Be careful of little pieces like this, little tabs. Sometimes they got tabs going up across here. Before applying any pressure to the glass, make sure that you're aware of what's underneath it. So now we're gonna go ahead and start reassembling. I'm gonna go check out that side again. I'll show y'all what's next. All right, guys, so then we're gonna go ahead and give them the flyer so that they know where we are. All Glass Incorporated. I also did start doing air fresheners too. So they got an air freshener up there, free promotion. Anytime they're talking to somebody in the car, they might be like, oh, I can't find his number. Oh, there it is right there. And people typically forget that those are up there. I got clients that had those things up there for like a year and a half. So in short, I'm going to keep on doing these videos. Take your time. Be respectful of the craft of what you're doing. Because what we are doing is dealing with a person's vehicle. And they do drive around their kids, family, and everything in that vehicle. So you want to make sure that you're doing everything correctly so that you don't put anybody at risk, but also so that you can maximize your own skill set and value in this industry. I'm not sure where you guys are watching from, but it's a lot of money to be made in this industry. So just go ahead and learn what you can. And I'm going to keep on putting out these videos in hopes of helping you guys get along to the next process and the next step. Until then, you guys be good. All Glass Inc.